we told people we're going to talk about leads today, and we are. So I'm going to kind of walk through and make sure people know about leads, about some of the different types. And as Paige, or people have been asking us questions about certain types, I want to be able to jump in and let Paige talk about certain things she keeps in mind when she's dialing different things. And I might hit some other people with questions on this, but I think as there's been some other levels of learning as people are working with different lead types. So first thing, let's start with, if you're brand new, one of the things we will typically start you with is follow-up leads. And typically it's going to be direct mail. Like we might get you some 3-year-old, 5-year-old direct mail leads, or some 2-year-old or 1-year-old, or maybe some 3-month-old. Don't get all hung up on, is it a 2-month or 6-year or 3-year or 1 year? That's really not the point. The point is to get your habits around dialing, talking to people, and working your script, handling objections, and learning to book appointments and getting some feedback. And out of that, you might book some appointments and do fantastic. It's possible you may not book any, but you'll get better, so that when you start to work with a higher octane of leads, you'll be better. But for someone that's starting with follow-up leads, Paige, on direct mail stuff, what are things that either you try to do different or you try to keep the same when you're calling, say, a direct mail lead that you know is older?
So I'm going to avoid the obvious of how long they put it in or anything related to that. But everything else I keep the same. I don't try to overthink it. I'm just calling it like it's a brand new lead, really. I think the biggest thing with people with follow-up leads is if you have it in your mind that it's something special or you need to do something special or they don't work, you're going to be the problem. So that's the biggest thing I've learned with working with older leads is just keeping your mindset right and just out like it's normal.
Okay. And so let's talk about normal. What's something like that? Like when I hear you call, while I know you're working through a script, you sound very conversational and you have certain bright tones, not overly uppity like a scripted telemarketer on a sugar high or a caffeine high, but you still have this bright, genuine engagement. Talk a little bit about what you're doing, or even if you pretend, if you want to role play with somebody, we can do that. Jake Joseph, you mind being a lead for a second that she's calling?
Not at all. I'm here.
Cool.
Okay. Ring, ring.
Hello?
Jake.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, Jake. This is Paige. I am giving you a call back. My name is Paige. I'm with the Senior Resource Center here in Jefferson County. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good, doing good. Hey, I'm actually just giving you a call back. You had sent in something for the state programs that cover your final expenses, and they had me go ahead and get everything together for you. It just kind of explains how it works and what you can qualify for. I wanted to make sure I was going to be getting it to you and not your neighbor. Tell me, are you still at the 123 Main Street?
Yes, I am. Yep.
Okay, awesome. Okay, and are you working or are you retired?
Shit, I'm tired.
You're retired?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. How long you been retired for?
Oh gosh. 5 years. I'm newly retired.
Newly retired? Hey, you've been doing it longer than I am close to it, so that's good. I just kind of role play there. I feed into it, but that's basically it. Then I go into tie downs.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now, Jake, I want you to be the person. In this case, that was kind of easy going, agreeable. And if you talk to someone, an old lead, how often when you come at it that way, are they agreeable and moving forward? Does that happen 1 out of 3, 1 out of 4, 1 out of 5, 1 out of 2? How often are they just kind of going with you on that?
I would venture to say 2 out of 3.
That high?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm just going with it. One of the things that I'll say I have seen other agents struggle with is like at the beginning, you have like the section from introductory into like why I'm calling. And if every sentence you're stopping and like waiting for a response or like waiting to see how are they responding to me, they're going to question you too, because right now you're questioning them. You're like, oh, can I keep going? You're like waiting for permission to talk. And I'm just going straight through. Like every time I role play with an agent that's calling me and I'm all the way through, the first question I ask is this your address? They're like, oh, you don't ask anything before then? No. It's just going straight through and being assumptive. It's just like in the home whenever you're looking for a table. If you're walking towards it and you're leaning them towards it, they're going to follow you. It's the same thing with over the phone.
Okay, that's big. Okay. Now, Jake, I want you to throw up the part about it being a long time. Kind of go ahead and give her an objection of it's been a long time, blah, 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 blah. Did we fill that out years ago or something like that? So go ahead and start from the top on the script.
Okay. Ring, ring.
Hello?
Jake.
Yeah.
Hey, Jake. This is Paige. I am giving you a call back. I'm with the Senior Resource Center here in Jefferson County, and I was actually giving you a call back. It looks like you had filled out something for the state programs that pay for your burial expenses. And I have everything together that kind of explains how it all works and to see what you qualify for. And I wanted to make sure I was getting it to you and not your neighbor. Tell me, are you still at the 123 Main Street?
Well, shoot, hon, you're a little too late. We did that gosh dang, that was like 2 or 3 years ago.
You got it taken.
Yeah, I don't remember what you're talking about, but if you're talking final expenses, I got that done about like 2 or 3 years ago.
Oh,
right,
you did.
Right after I retired.
You got your final expenses taken care of? Is that what you said?
Yeah, right after I retired, got that thing done so I can enjoy golfing.
Hey, that's awesome. You know, a lot of people don't actually think about that, Jake. A lot of people just wait and let their family deal with that. So good job getting that taken care of for them. But Jake, I will tell you, this is a little bit different. And no problem about not remembering it or if it has been a while. I don't remember what I ate for breakfast this morning. So I wouldn't remember it either. But again, my job is just to get this information over to you, go over it with you, figure out what you qualify for, and kind of go from there. Did you say you were at the 123 Main Street?
Yeah, I'm still there, but again, it's like even if I did, we had already gotten it taken care of, so I don't really know if I need to see what else I qualify for.
Yeah. It's good that you got it taken care of. It sounds like you're ahead of the curve with all of that. Well, what we need to do then, let's make sure that everything is good. I am in the recovery department. So that might actually be why you are on my desk. Just to make sure that it is taken care of. We'll make sure that we get it signed off of, that you do have a plan in place and you don't need the state programs and everything. So what time do you typically wake up in the morning?
7.
You wake up at 7 a.m. and you're retired?
Yeah. Why? Is that a problem?
Oh, if I was retired, I wouldn't wake up before 9 a.m. Ain't no way someone's getting me out of bed before then.
All right.
Do you want us to keep going?
No, I think it's fun. I hope people hear that you play and have fun with people and that this isn't something that's drudgery in your conversation.
Yeah.
And the fact that some agents will hear, oh, he already bought something 2 years ago. This is a terrible lead. I can't believe they made me get one. And, oh, you don't know how hard it is. Okay. If that voice is in your head, you need to learn to silence that voice. Take some control of the situation. Be aware. Mike, how'd you know that voice was in my head? Because it's in mine too sometimes. And I have to learn to shut that voice down. But you don't understand. Yes, I do. More than you realize. So, okay. So we're trying to get through different lead types. So I think really about when you get an older lead, if you get them on the phone, the only things they can say that would be tough is, I don't remember it, or I already took care of it.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't remember it, that's why I'm calling. I already took care of it. You kind of heard it go through. It's still my job to get you information and just who knows if you got the right program or not, or acknowledging that they got it, acknowledge it, have fun with them and try. You're not going to get every one. So if you're like, Mike, I had 3 that already had it, I didn't book with them. Relax. It's okay. No big deal. Okay. So let's move to some different lead types. Let's jump over to, say, the lead performance team's vendor leads, because some people asked you about the special script. And I know, Jake, Monday you were talking about how you were down and you thought because because the lead had the beneficiary and the relationship to the beneficiary, that you thought that was a secret to the lead. And you were so hell-bent, if you just said, Jake Joseph, that's your beneficiary, and he's your son. Okay, I'm going to be at more at 2. And you just thought, they say, okay, how much it is it?
I thought you guys were lying to me about these things. Yeah, that's exactly what I said, and they just hung up on me. I was like, what the hell?
Okay, so I think in case people are wondering, so you learned from, okay, it's about the same, but let's go ahead, Paige. What do you do different? Go ahead and call Jake and do the same thing. So you know it's this online. You know it's a final expense if it is, because we have life. We'll cover both of them if there's anything different. You know, there is a beneficiary name and relationship and a death benefit requested, right?
Yep.
Okay, go ahead and do a call with Jake again on this.
Ring, ring.
Hello?
Jake.
Yeah, who's this?
Hey, Jake. This is Paige. I'm with the Senior Resource Center here in Jefferson County, and I was actually just giving you a call back. It looks like you had sent in a form for the state programs that pay for your final expenses, and they had me go ahead and get everything together for you that kind of explains how it all works and what you can qualify for. And I just wanted to make sure I was getting it to you and not your neighbor. Tell me, are you at the 123 Main Street still?
Yeah, that's my address. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. And are you working or are you retired?
I am retired.
You're retired. Okay, awesome. Are you more of a morning or an afternoon person?
Morning. I like having my afternoons open.
Okay. All right, perfect. Well, they're having me working in the area with about 10 other families tomorrow. I can squeeze you in either around 10 a.m. or we could do a little bit later on noon. Which one works better for you?
Let's do the earlier one.
The earlier one, 10 a.m.?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And have them run a piece of paper and all that tie
Okay.
downs. But
So, Jake, how much did you hear is different with this LPT internet lead with the beneficiary? What did you hear was at all remotely different versus a straight up final expense direct mailing?
Yeah, the one thing that I picked up when Paige helped me on Monday and right now is I noticed she has it set up to one, she really doesn't make it too much different other than the fact for me that I noticed was like, hey, we put together all that info for you already. And I was going to be in your area getting this out to 10 other families. So making herself seem busy, but just letting them know, hey, I already put it together for you. I just need to make sure to get it to you and not your neighbor. You still at the 123 Main Street. I know one thing that Paige helped me with too is like the beneficiary is more as kind of like a last resort Hail Mary deal. I noticed when I was throwing it right up front between the combination of their address, their age or date of birth, and their beneficiary, I think they thought I was a little creepy with all that right up front. So she's still keeping it simple.
Okay. All right. Got it. All right. Any questions on this LPT lead and what Paige might be doing that's different? Anybody else who's like, okay, I've worked them out, I'm having trouble, or I've worked them, I think I'm doing all right? Jake, you got another question? Go ahead.
Real quick, yeah, I did notice because I was saying it, but I didn't notice you say it. Are you mentioning that they did something online?
no,
You're not. Okay.
and other people might do it and it works. For me, I tried a couple times of using that and inserting it and changing what already worked. And for me, I just have more success not even mentioning it and just doing the same old, same old. So I don't mention anything about it. No matter what lead it is, I always just say, looks like you filled out a form, blah, blah, blah.
I think I've heard that from lead vendors. I've talked to John Davis about that at Bang Bang. And sometimes sometimes too much information is a distraction.
Yeah.
Because when we're trying to be so precise, it gives them more things that they can argue about.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I said, hey, oh, that's a nice orange shirt that you have. So he said, that's not orange, that's brown. Or that's tan.
Mm-hmm.
Or that's rawhide. Or hell, I don't know. So they start arguing with me as opposed to just say, oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They'll argue which freaking color of the Crayola box is it. And it'd be like, and then you get distracted off, well, I was just trying to give her a compliment, make a friend.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to, this is the specific lead type. I hope you can recognize how smart I am in telling you and reminding you this. Whereas it almost gives them more to argue with versus it looks like they put a form on my desk that looks like you filled out here.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions on the LPT internet lead? Is there anything different you do if it's the life versus the final expense?
Yes. The only thing that I will pay attention to is their age. So sometimes with the life ones, they're younger. They may be in their 40s or late 30s or sometimes even younger than that. And I pay close attention to if I'm saying senior resource center or just resource center. Because I actually even had that on a call, one of Jake's today. I wasn't paying close enough attention and I said senior resource center. And it happens almost every time that I slip up on this. And she said, I'm 40 something. I'm not a senior, blah, blah, blah. And I was able to go back and save it. But that's really the only thing that I pay attention to is if they are younger, just say resource center. But that's just a little thing.
Okay.
Just like you were just saying, don't give them something to argue about. Keep it simple. But
Okay, that's good. Cool. Okay. All right. So we covered LPT. Now let's say you take an instant internet lead from Integrity, the Integrity portal, because you called some of those today, right?
Yep.
All right. Did you do anything different there? Because you don't have a beneficiary.
Yep.
You just call.
Mhm.
Did you book some of those?
Yep.
Any specifically weird pushback?
No. Really, I it's the same old, not anything extra because it's a different lead.
Okay.
But no.
All right.
I do the same thing.
Jake, you heard her dialing. What if you had been making the same call or engagement she had made? What did you notice different about her engagement versus how you've handled certain calls?
She didn't get flustered. She just kind of moved on and expected the objection and just kind of acknowledged and then moved on with it.
So, or expected or anticipated, was okay with the objection, but knew that wasn't the end of the game.
Exactly. Yes.
Like, it's almost like, okay, we gave up a run, we gave up a touchdown, we're not going to lose the game. Yeah, the other team's going to score some points. They're going to put up a fight, but it don't mean that they're going to win. And so, yeah, you don't like it, but you kind of know that we can't stop. You're going to get some of that. So I think that's big. Okay, Kyle, you've been doing more with the LPT vendor leads.
Yes.
For that versus final expense or just the direct mail, what are the things you like or that you've done different or that you found helpful on those leads or anything else?
Well, with the
I mean,
LPT.
come in closer if
Yeah,
you want.
sure. So have that information that's listed, and I could just use that as ammo with
Mhm.
like any objection, like, oh, I didn't say nothing, and oh, really? Well, and then I can go into those questions. But again, you got to be careful not to get caught up with it because, I was going into the instant purchase leads, some of the ones I had, and it's been a couple of weeks since I've used it, and I kind of got caught up with all that information I had. I was going back and kind of, was doubting myself on little information I had on the internet purchases, but I just had to go back and just kind of re-go through the script. I didn't change anything, and then just didn't take into consideration how old they might be or anything like that. So
Okay. So here's the question. So the beneficiary information and the face amount that's on the LPT lead, has that become like Samson and his hair for you?
I don't know what that is.
All right, so good looking for you. So the guy Samson, he thought that his strength was because of his hair, and when they cut his long hair off, he was going to lose all his strength.
Yeah.
So now, if we cut the beneficiary off, are you going to lose all your appointment setting effectiveness?
No,
Okay.
no, I'm not
All
going.
right. So you've built strength, even
Yes.
though it's not from the beneficiary.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's an important piece. Because somebody's gonna be like, "Oh, I can only dial the ones with the beneficiaries." No, that's not the case. And so my coaching to anybody is better to take several types in the same county and have more leads in the same geographic area versus try to cherry pick one lead in 17 different areas. And learn to make adjustments to get good at all of them. Learn to go back and call them even if they hung up on you. Learn to door knock them if you don't get them on the phone. Learn to door knock them if they hung up on you and you've tried them again. Like, these are all the things that kind of go into the appointment setting, is how do we engage with people? So those are kind of the big things.
What seems like little but makes it really big for me, I have my script in front of me all the time, even though I've been saying the same thing for 3 years now. And it's really easy to get your ego big and think you don't need it in front of you, but this makes all the difference for me more than anything else. So,
Okay. Keeping the script, keeping it basic, staying focused, not getting too big for your britches. The people that reach out are the ones that get the most help. People say, well, I didn't want to reach out because I thought you were busy. Yeah, well, I was busy helping the ones that were calling me. So don't try to use your mental telepathy or telepathic skills to determine if we're available or not. Just bloody call. So good job by you, Stephen, calling. So that's you.
Hey, we hope you enjoyed that video. And if you like that one, we have some more for you right here. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button below.